Hi there and welcome to the Franknote Sewing Machines YouTube channel. My name's Lucy and today we're going to go through the Brother PR680W. We're going to actually get it out the box, unpack it, show you how that bit kind of comes all like what we would do on an installation really, and then we're going to take it upstairs and do a bit of setup and also a bit of testing as well and go through everything that's in the box. But first of all we're going to get it out of the box, which is not complicated, but maybe a little bit more involved than you think. So let's get these straps off first of all. And you end up with a load of cardboard. These bits. And take off all the cellophane. So once we've actually got all the bits clear of that, we're going to just score the top to release the lid. There is actually instructions on it, but it is easier to see, isn't it really? And then these little wide clips all around the bottom kind of squeeze together and pop out. Of those. Right. And now we can basically lift off the lid as a big column really. Hopefully we've got enough space above us. Sometimes we do have to do these, take them out of the boxes outside of people's homes, as you can imagine, because it doesn't actually fit through a door. That's why we thought it would be useful to show you the process. Up. And then, ooh, down, and then that can go flat and we'll pop that behind me here. So now we've got kind of all the polystyrene around the machine itself, so it's really important to double check all of these areas. So that one doesn't actually have anything in it, but this one round this side, oh, I've actually got the manual and also one of the extra frame holders. So do have a quick scan of those before you bin them. Let's pop everything over here for a moment. We've then got the main accessory tray, which has got everything that you need for the machine, which we'll go through upstairs as well. And then in here we just need a scissors again, just to score. Oh, it's already come off. And then we have the machine. I'll happily put it in on the wrong way round, but here we go. I'll just spin that around for you. These bits come off in two halves. And then we've got the machine itself. So now we're going to carry this upstairs, which we do not need to film, us getting it up the stairs, and then we'll go through setting it up in our demo room upstairs with you. Hi there, so we're back in the shop. We've brought the machine upstairs now. I have to admit it is a little bit later on since we did actually do the unboxing downstairs. We've finally got the chance to actually go through the accessories and then show you how to set up the machine. So we'll go through the hoops first. So you get 4 hoops with the PR680W. We've got the 4x6cm one. I'm just going to pop these all on the stand. So this is an additional purchase, the stand, but I'm just going to pop them all on there because it's easy for storage. So 4x6cm, we can pop that there. We've also got the 18x13cm, the 10x10, and the largest one, which is the 20x30cm hoop. So this is the biggest hoop that comes with the machine, and this is the largest size that you can use on this model. Pop that there. With all of those, you do get the grid sheets too for positioning and placements, but we do also have the laser on there too, so there's lots of different ways you can get really good positioning on there, so slot those in there. And the frame holder, so this holds on all of the frames, frame holder A, to the machine, so we will need that in a minute to actually set it up. I'll just pop that one up there. And frame holder B, which is for holding on some of the additional frames, and there is full references in the manual as to which frames this attaches to the machine, but you do get that included. And then we've got our manual, everything you need to know about it, obviously. Good reference. Power lead, cable, obviously. And then the little box of tricks, which includes everything you need to set up and maintain the machine, so including the screwdriver, which is what we're going to need to actually set it up. You've got needles and bobbins and everything to get you started, your oil, very handy little tools for threading, which we'll show you, so everything you need to kind of maintain and use the machine. Right then, so we're now going to get all the bits off and set it up, and we'll get it stitching. Okay, so now we're going to set the machine up like we would if we were doing an installation at your home or place of work when we deliver these machines. So first thing to do is get off all of the tape to release it. Oh. And remove any of the cardboard and polystyrene parts. So I'll just get this one back here. This little bit comes off there, and that goes off in the direction of the arrow. And then we've got the thread stand. This is the main part of assembly, really. This is the only bit that does need to be assembled. So that bit slides up. I have had some where I've had to loosen the screws a little bit in order to get that up, so that might happen as well. But once that is in an upright position, it's just a case of tightening up the screws on each side. So we've got one here and one around the other side too. So I'll just get this one, try not to get my arm in the way. There we go. And if I swing around the back, oh, there isn't one there, that's fine. So it's just these thread stands here as well that also need to pop out. And so these do need the screws loosening on the inside here in order to give them enough space. So there's a screw here, and then that slots into there when you've got it loosened off enough. There we go. And then you keep your screwdriver in and tighten it up. And we'll do the same with the other side. So loosen that one off until we can get this in. There we go, and then tighten up again. Okay, so there is also the, to make some space, we'll bring the screen round to the front. And again, we can tighten all the little knobs up here. And then we can release the thread stand to spread it out for all 6 colours on here. And that just tightens up there. And that's it, now it's assembled. Let me just double check we've got rid of everything. Yep, we haven't got any cardboard pieces or polystyrene pieces. So then the last bit that does need to go on in order to attach the frame is the frame holder A. So that's this one here. So it has 2 holding screws that are already attached to it. And so we actually need to take these out of here. Because then that's what's going to attach to the machine. Well, that one was fine, one's very, very tight. Let me just there is a little tool in here to be able to release that. There we go. There we go. So if we take those out there. These little screw holes are just holding areas, so they don't actually go back into those at all. So to slot this on, we gently make sure you're not catching any of the feet or needles when slotting this in, and the same when removing it as well. So we're going into that gap there. And then at the back here, there's a little kind of tongue, for want of a better word, like down here, that's going to slot into this hole. So when it is in the right position, it does just kind of sit flat. That was quite easy then. So you might be wandering around here, but then it will just kind of slot down and locate, and it'll feel really solid. And then one of these screws that we had goes into this part here to secure it down. I'm not going to do that up too tight at the moment, because I'll show you why in a bit. And then this one is going to go around this side to secure into this hole here. And this one can go on really tight, because that one's not moving anywhere. There we go. And so now that's on, we can turn the machine on. So we've already got a power supply connected. So I'll just flick the switch here. And everything should start to kick into action. So it does come up with this message about oiling the hook all the time, every day. Every time you turn it on, it comes up with that message, but you don't actually need to oil it that regularly. But we do have a video on the full maintenance and everything of the machine. This is kind of more setting it up. So we'll just go through these kind of initial motions, choosing a language, and it's just warning you that the calibration of the arm is going to jig around. Okay. So we can set the clock as well. Choose however you want it to be done, really. What are we, 23? This is going to date it, isn't it? Oh, what month are we on? It's only the 2nd. I was thinking that was the day. There we go. And we can do 24-hour clock. It's actually more like 10. There we go. So once you've set that up, it's we can choose a design and actually get it stitching. So what we'll do is we'll get it threaded up and then show you how to fill up a hoop and start stitching. So we're using a nice cord thread here just to get it started, because these are a really lovely thread that we kind of recommend, that runs through the machines really well. So I'm just going to load this up onto needle number 1 just to go through the threading process. You may need the tweezers, which are supplied in the box. It's totally up to you, but we'll just show you the basic threading path, because it's all numbered for each individual needle. So if there is a 1 on it, that's what we're going for here. Through this tube, just the main bit is to make sure that the thread is running vertically from the spool, and through each and every little guide, because each one plays a little part. Duck it under there. This then goes around in a clockwise motion round the tension disc, and then kind of pinballs through these little guides, clips into there. And then go down the front of the machine, because it does look a bit scary at first having all these needles, but because they all thread up in the same way, it's not that bad. Through that one there. That's the take-up lever. Normally you just pull a little bit of excess down here and let it spring and do its thing, so it's not so hard to handle. And then this is where I'm aiming for that number 1 there. Down. And just make sure that it stays in its lane. So the next is, we can use this cool little threading tool, which looks a bit strange at first, but it's really helpful because there's a little wire guide right at the top of the needle that we need to get to next. Ooh. Up into there. We can then engage the needle threader. Scoop underneath those 2 prongs that have come to hug the needle. Go up and clip behind this kind of flappy bit of metal that's next to the foot, and up and around to the trimmer. Then press the needle threader button again. And that's it threaded. So if we do that 6 more times, we will get the whole machine threaded, but we're just going to show you one for now. So next we're going to load up the bobbin. Now we've done the top thread. So the bobbin case is already loaded into the front of the machine, and you do have a pack of these Magnacore pre-wound bobbins in the box already. So pop one of those out, and you'll know which side the Magnacore is because the magnet is because it's dark grey compared to the green other side. So once we've got the bobbin case out of the machine, we can use this lever, pull it away. We then place the bobbin in with the magnet inwards, and it'll kind of almost snap into position, kind of clips in nicely. And when you're pulling the thread and it's spinning clockwise, that is correct. That's in the right way, because not all pre-wound bobbins have that Magnacore, but the ones you get started with do, and we can get those as well as other types of pre-wound bobbins. And slips underneath this flap here, and that's the tensioner that gives you tension on the thread. We'll then pop it in. So this is the important bit for here. It can slot in, and you do need to have it click into position so that the spindle there is just poking through the bobbin case, and then that's ready to go. We can just trim this down a little bit, and that won't cause any harm. That can just sit into the cover and go back up, and that's all loaded. So we've got our top thread, we've got a bobbin, we're almost ready to stitch. So we're going to hoop up the largest hoop at the moment, the 30 by 20. Just unscrew these here. So you've got two sets of screws on this one because it is a larger one, so you do need a bit more control. So it's the small hoop down first with the stabilizer, which you do need for pretty much every single material, but there's more detail on that in the other video. And we've just got some calico here, so lay that on. Your other hoop then just slots on top of it, so because I've loosened it off, it should slot into place quite easily. And then we want to give it a bit of tension, pulling it around till it's nice and taut. I'll do up the screws a little bit and then give it another pull. This will start to create a nice flat surface. And then tighten them up again. You just might need to go around kind of pulling this material a few times just to get it nice and even. And it does depend on your fabric as to how much you do this. Okay, that should do for now. So now that's loaded, we've got the nice flat stabilizer on the back and flat calico on the front. We can then load it into the frame holder. So this is actually set, so the reason I didn't tighten up that screw originally was because just to show you that it can move, but it is initially set to the widest position to load the largest hoop. But if you were using one of the smaller hoops, you kind of loosen this screw and loosen this screw, which has been done up really hard, there we go. And then that actually moves in by notches to accommodate the smaller frames. So we're going to have that back there. There is a sensor on there that actually tells the machine what size hoop you have on. So it is important to screw these down nice and hard so that the machine, the sensor is activated and it knows what size hoop it's using. And slot this into position. Again, watch out for your feet. It goes underneath these metal flaps, slides in, and then locates. And that's it. There will be movement, but that's not a problem at all. So we're just going to pick something from, there's lots of built-in designs, we'll just pick something straightforward. I'm going to try and find one of our preferred designs, but you can never find it when you're being filmed. I think it's in here. Or maybe not. I'm going to go for the cats. Set that in there. So on this we can move around, place it wherever we want, but we do have a lot more information about how all of this works in our other video, so do have a look at that one next. I'm just going to go to the edit end to say that I'm ready to sew, and the embroidery button then here. It's asking us to change the colours, but we're going to say that we have changed the colours and just press close. Go to the lock button to unlock it and the green button for go. that was an overview of how you can actually set up your PR680W yourself. However, we do normally do installation and training at your home or workplace, wherever it needs to be. It's Frank and myself that do the deliveries, so if you've got any questions or queries about that, do get in touch. We've got all 3 machines in the PR range on display here in store, so we've got the VR, the 680 and also the 1055X. Those are the current models, and so if you want to have any additional training after your installation or anything like that, you're also more than welcome to come down and book in with us to if you need any other assistance with the machine. But they are super straightforward. We've had many happy customers with these, and we love them. They do a great job, exactly what they say on the tin, and give lots of trouble-free use. So yeah, I hope this has been useful for you, and if you do have any questions, just give us a ring or an email and we'll answer as soon as we can. But till then, bye for now.